Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the course of these NBA playoffs so far, I think it's safe to say that the Golden State Warriors surprise us just a little bit more with every single day that comes and goes. And for reference, whether you want to discuss the resurgence of their core big three in Steph, Klay, and Dre, who are hitting a new all-time high, maybe even Golden State's continued development of young stars that has proven to be one of the best in the league over the last decade, or we could even talk about how it would be hard to deny that this team is currently on the best stretch they have seen this entire season. But no, you guys, because today we're going to be addressing some of the quote-unquote problems this Warriors team had, at least according to the NBA world. But in response to this, at least from what we've seen so far, it might just be the best situation possible for them, so let's get into it. One sec though, guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to never miss another NBA video. Love you guys. And for any of you regulars that haven't yet, I'm telling you, now is the perfect time, because according to my numbers, over 95% of you guys coming back to watch the content haven't even subscribed yet. So for any of you that do, thank you so much. But anyway, to get back on topic with the Golden State Warriors, I saw a quote online that, in my personal opinion, explained this Golden State Warriors team to the T, at least from what we saw prior to this postseason run, in saying that this team was nothing more than an unfinished product. Because whether you want to talk about the insanely hot start this team had, the complete drop-off they received shortly afterwards, or even the lack of chemistry that should have been built up in the regular season, with injuries occurring time and time again, the NBA media definitely had their fair share of reasons to have question marks about Golden State going into the postseason. But possibly the biggest question regarding this team, and what many expected would be the downfall of them in their playoff run, was undoubtedly, when you look into the specifics of their rotation, their inside presence. Because when looking at the overall make of this team, with the only relevant frontcourt pieces being Kevon Looney and Draymond Green, long story short, it seemed like both inside offense and defense was going to be a liability the majority of the time. But again, you guys, from everything we've seen in this postseason run, it seems that Golden State knew exactly what they were getting themselves into. Because honestly, you guys, no matter what series you look at, whether it be the opening round against Denver, the semifinal against Memphis, or the current Western Conference Finals with the Mavericks, whether their opponent had a clear-cut advantage inside and tried to exploit it every single game, or even if they didn't and tried to find a way to beat Golden State elsewhere, the Warriors have very quickly shown that with this unorthodox rotation, and I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, but they might just have the most amount of different ways to win a basketball game, and I know that might sound a little weird, but just let me explain. Because to start this, I mean, you guys know the drill, we've been seeing it for almost a decade at this point, but the big three of Steph, Klay, and Draymond are typically going to get theirs and do what they do on almost any given night, and the numbers they're putting up in the postseason so far definitely show for that. But if you've paid attention to this team's games, it seems that when disadvantages are most adamant and show the most, is ultimately when their new advantages are created, and this team only gets that much better. I mean, again, to touch base on the 3 series we have seen out of the Warriors thus far, there has been a new player outside of the Warriors' big 3 step up in an astounding way, and it's almost to the point in some situations that if that player wasn't present for this series, you question how many games it would go, or even if Golden State would advance. And to get further into this, example A, Jordan Poole had an absolute field day against the Denver Nuggets, and of course this was mainly due to the mismatches in the backcourt, while the front court got pounded by the back-to-back MVP. Example B being Kevon Looney proving everyone wrong that he can be the competent big the Warriors need for a championship run, and we should also mention has absolutely flourished as of recently. And last but certainly not least, we have example C, who is the talk of the NBA world right now, and that is none other than Andrew Wiggins. Because aside from what he has been labeled throughout the course of almost his entire career as a losing scorer, is proving not only his worth to a championship team, but also also that he is one of the clear-cut stars of this Golden State squad. I mean, you guys can see the numbers for yourself, but again, if you've been watching these games on the nights where maybe Steph or Klay are not on their A game, someone will almost always be sitting in the shadows waiting to step up and lead this team to a victory. And to be completely honest, when looking at the remaining possible opponents for Golden State, I don't see this being the same situation on their side. For example, in Boston and Miami, no discredit to them whatsoever, but from what I've seen and watched of them so far in this postseason, that if they don't have at least a stellar performance from one, if not both of their top stars, that the chances of them winning that game drop substantially, at least more as to what I'm seeing out of Golden State. And I know for a fact we've had this discussion in recent videos, and I'm going to say it again just because it becomes more and more adamant as we go on, is that aside from the top 4 scoring options out of the Warriors in Steph, Klay, Jordan Poole, and Andrew Wiggins, even with the injuries they are dealing with right now, the Warriors' supporting cast and role players off the bench continues to see fit as the best arsenal of any remaining team. I don't know, you guys, I mean, this could all just be recency bias and the fact that we have seen Golden State exploit so many problems with all of their opponents, but I just also know for a fact when the Golden State Warriors very likely move on to the NBA Finals, this problem that has been explained with the Warriors all season is going to be mentioned time and time again leading up to the big dance from everything we've seen so far, even though it is going to be a completely different beast from anything they've seen already. I just don't see it being a good enough reason to count this team out. Now, if you do, I can definitely see where you're coming from, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The different schemes that we have seen Steve Kerr and the coaching staff throw out there throughout this postseason have been amazing to watch, so I am very excited to see what they might throw out there against Boston or Miami if and when they do get to the finals. But also, as we do with every single video, I am very curious to hear what you guys have to think about this. So please let me know in the comments, do you think that Boston or Miami are truly going to be too overwhelming from a size point through a 7-game series? And also, I want to hear your NBA Finals prediction. Who's playing who and who's winning in how many games? But again, you guys, if you haven't yet, again, don't forget to go down below and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and of course, subscribe while you're down there. I know, yes, this was more of a discussion video today. I'm still trying to come out with brand new NBA content every single week around here, you guys. So believe me, with everything coming up and the off-season right around the corner, you do not want to miss out. But also, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. I appreciate all of you guys more than anything. You all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.